Let's let her roll. I'd like to call the September meeting, CUB, to order. I'm looking around, I don't see anyone here as far as our public comment session. Therefore, let's move on to item number 3, which is the review and approval of the minutes. We've all had time to review them. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes? Hearing none, I'll ask for a motion and a second for their approval.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
We have a motion second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed by like sign. Let's move on then to item number 4, which is the approval of the vouchers. Again, we have had the time presented to us in the format for review, and I would like to ask if there are any questions, any additions, or any corrections to the vouchers.
I've got a question, and I probably know this, somebody's told me, but I failed to remember. Cash voucher, or cash transfers, when it says cash transfers, what, in layman's terms, what's that mean?
That's where these banks take our payments, like
Oh,
SunTrust
yeah,
and
okay.
Regions. They take
Yeah.
our payments, and then we transfer that money back to our main general fund.
Gotcha, thank you.
Any other questions? If not, I will ask for a motion and a second for approval of the vouchers.
Make a second.
We have a motion second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed by like sign. This time, I'd like to call on Mr. Fagan for the review of the monthly reports for the month of August.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. What you're looking at is the revenue and expense summary. There's nothing like long, hot, dry summers to improve your revenues, and that's evident right here because that's what motivated this. Just to give you a quick glimpse of the degree days. July this year blue, last year red, yellow is the 10-year average, and you see what it did in August, and even September looks pretty good. So that definitely has an impact on the net income.
Is this a record for number of 90-degree days?
I think it was like within 2 days or something.
It's like the third. I think we tied for the third highest number of days at 76, if I'm not mistaken, at 90 or above for the year. It's amazing.
So if you look over here, the difference year to date, our sales are up quite a bit. Our power cost is down. It's up, but remember, these positive numbers are a good thing, negative numbers a negative thing, but that margin is where the difference comes in on the income statement. Our expenses are under what we had forecasted. So in the electric department, you're $583,000 ahead of the forecast after 2 months.
Pretty good.
In the water department, we're still running a little behind the forecast, but a lot of that deals with timing of expenses and things. So I'm not worried about that at this time. Overall, everything's good. If there's any specific questions, I'll be glad to try and answer them.
Do we have any questions?
Can I ask a question on the balance sheet?
Sure.
Okay. Sinking funds.
That's his allotment for the meeting.
Okay, sinking funds. Tell me, and I know you, and I'm writing myself some notes, but just what does that mean? Is that where we have money set aside for that last payment
No,
or last
We put
bond
it,
payments?
we
or-
deposit in there every month.
Okay.
We take what this year's, let's say the principal is $1 million and the interest is $500,000.
Okay.
And we'll take that $1.5 million and we'll divide it by 12 and we'll deposit every month so that when that payment comes due, we got the money
That
in there
money's
to
already
pay
there,
it.
okay.
Now, on top of that, we have reserves. And
Okay.
that's where we put an extra 20% in every month of whatever that divided by 12 is. We'll throw extra 20% in there until we reach the highest year's principal and interest due. And that way, that last year, we don't have to make those deposits.
Okay. And so that's included in that, both of those numbers you just spoke of is in that sinking fund?
That's correct.
Okay. Does that sinking fund, that does not reflect anything in the days of cash, though, because we're not considering that cash. Cash is what you have expendable,
That's right.
that you could just go and pick up right now.
That's right.
That we consider that other monies to be, even though we consider that 20% to be earmarked or
Yes.
set aside.
Yes.
It's already
Allocated.
spoken for.
Yes, that's
Okay,
correct.
okay.
It's not that we can't use that money
Yeah,
if we
but
need to, but.
The intent is to,
The intent is to set it aside so that we have that money in place to cover those debt payments.
gotcha.
You can ask all the questions you want. Have you got any more?
I'm good right now. Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, if not, then I'll ask for a motion and a second for the approval of the monthly reports for the month of August.
So moved.
Second?
I have a motion and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. Okay. Greg, I'm gonna assume that in
Yes, sir,
Ernie's
that's
absence, that you will be
Thank you.
giving us an update on the status report there.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If you'll look at the project status for electric, you'll notice that we're 100% complete on the construction on the West Norris conversion. All we're now waiting is what we call POST, payroll overhead stores and transportation. Once that overhead is allocated to that work order will close. We're very near the finishing up at Eagle Bend. 90% construction is complete on that, and Service Electric will be finishing that up, or hopefully in the next couple of weeks. Bull Run, the poles have been set, and both in Cross Mountain, we now have our dozer going up through there, through Red Simons, and he's cutting a road in, because that's what it takes that we get to Cross Mountain for that work order in phase one of that feeder. And that's all I have, Mr. Chairman, unless there are questions.
Any questions from anyone?
Remind me again, where is Cross Mountain?
Cross Mountain is up towards Petros.
We've got a couple closing reports that I'm sure you've had the opportunity to review. I know they're completed. I think probably there may still be a few
They're still pending. These two are
invoices that are out, and we'll get a closing figure, I would say, next meeting then.
That's correct.
Yeah, okay. Move on to item number 7 on our agenda. That's other business. Mr. Fay.
I don't have any, Mr. Chairman. Sorry.
You don't have to apologize to me. Okay. If there is not any other business, then I'm going to move down. I'm going to start with Mr. McBride. See if there's any questions or comments.
All's good.
CP?
No, nothing.
Ms. Harrell?
Good.
Mr. Val?
Curious, I heard where Oak Ridge City had a pass-through of 1.2% increase from TVA on the rate increase. Is that, and I maybe have misunderstood, has there been a rate increase from TVA or?
October 1, that's when their rate cycle goes through, and that is really an increase in wholesale costs to the utility. So that is an automatic, it is an automatic pass-through. Whatever charges are associated with the wholesale cost, there is a calculation that TVA does through our rate structure to do that.
That was included in our budgeting, wasn't it?
Yes, sir, it was.
Good.
Okay, well, I have no comments, so meeting is adjourned.